All right, let's go. Let's go, Wiggy. Wiggy, 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 wiggy. Okay, so here we go. Let's go. Let's just get the bitch session over with. Let's just get it over with. Come on, give it to me. Oh man, it's like when it's like when your girlfriend got to talk to you. She said, "Hey, I need to talk to you tonight," and you're just waiting all day. You're like, "All right, I'm sitting. What I do now? What did I do now?" All right, let's open this up. Hey, Metal, you booked a vacation for no sick in Cancun one day, one way. Yeah, that's a good idea. Bugs Rays, how you doing, JC? Shafashi says that was a bad game last night. It was. It was. It was. It was. We played well in some spots, but boy, did we make mistake after mistake after mistake. It was not pleasant. And I don't really know how much of it. I mean, I still feel like obviously we can beat the Capitals. Like I'm not worried. Like I'm not sitting here going, "Oh my God, if we play them in the Eastern Conference Finals, we're going to lose." But stupid mistakes. Saraji says, "I will still take us over them in a 7-game series." Yeah, bad third period. Yeah, um, it's weird. Now we got guys you know, like I said last night in the recap, Luster. What the hell's going on with this kid? I mean, he's not terrible, but he's slumping. Remember how Balinskis had those couple of weeks where he was really shaky, and then he kind of went back to normal. Thinks that's where we are with Luster right now. That cross-ice pass in the middle of the freaking ice, beginning of the third period last night. Yeah, first was good, second was okay, third was bad. Yeah, is what it was, right? But at least we know we're not the only team that will give up a lead. You almost came back. Honestly, I feel like if we had not emptied the net, I felt like we were going to come back in that game and tie it late. But got to empty the net because that's what you do, right? Shafashi says E2 was so good defensively in the cup final, has gone downhill since. He's not looked as tenacious, for sure. Hey, Amanda. She says Caps will have a ton of pressure after they win the President's Trophy. They're playing way above their pay grade. Probably not wrong. Great White wants to know if we had Vasilevsky. Are you asking how many cups? You asking how many cups would we have had? Vasilevsky might have been able to carry the President's Trophy team to a cup. Kay says we would have gotten the game if so many mistakes weren't made. I don't want crap on Ekblad too much, but come on. Well, yeah, no, I don't know if you watched the recap, Cade. But to me, Chucky's just as much at fault for that goal. Because Ekblad loses the puck. That's his responsibility. But then Chucky did manage to hustle back, and instead of laying down to block the pass, he stood up and pass goes right between his legs. I thought for sure Chucky was going to lay down. That's what they're taught to do. Of course, he's not a defenseman, so what does he know, right? Meadow says, by the way, no 6 faceoff percentage is 51, which wouldn't have made the top 5 on last year's team. I hate bagging on the guy, you know what I mean? But he just gives nothing. There's like no offensive ability there. He can't win puck battles because he can't get to the puck in time to win the puck battle. And I get it. Zito had to go kind of, digging at the bottom of the barrel. But I kind of meant what I said last night. Maybe we could pick up a winger, and then you go Barkov, Bennett, Lundell Luosterainen. Luosterainen was good at 4C, the President's Trophy season. Maybe that'll get him woken up. Hey, Chopper. Kachuckin says, why is the equipment guy not swapping shooter sticks out in the last 2 minutes? I mean, I hate the damn empty net. Always have, always will. And I know it works sometimes. I do know it works sometimes. But how many times do we allow an empty net goal where we would have scored a game-tying goal if we just played normal? Yeah, Metal says his one goal this year went off his skate accidentally, right? There was a rumor that the Pittsburgh might make Anthony Beauvillier available. I mean, we could take half of Pittsburgh's team for free. I'm sure they give him away. You know, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We this trade deadline, what are we, like a month away now? Like a month and a couple of days. Can they still make deals during the break? I never got an answer to that question. Can they still make deals during the break? I agree with that, Metal. Nosek for Crosby. I absolutely agree with that. 100%. Yeah, we just they got to throw in Achari. And then the fourth line will be Crosby with Luosterainen and Achari. So Chopper says trade Schmidt for Alex Vlasic. I don't know that they're going to trade Schmidt. And the reason why I say that, and I'm not a huge Schmidt fan, but he does run the second power play unit, right? And even if he's off the bench at some point in the playoffs, he could have some value. He's not been bad when he's had fresh legs. And I understand not wanting him on the ice every night, but you do need veteran depth off the bench in the playoffs. And we have, right now, we got Ekblad and Balinskis. If you get rid of Schmidt, the only guys that you have to even think about really running the power play or Ekblad and Balinskis, because they don't want Forsling doing it. Craig says they probably won't let deals happen during the Four Nations. Imagine being on one team. Yeah. I didn't think about that, Craig. He says they probably won't let deals happen during the Four Nations. Imagine being on one team at the Four Nations and then you don't get to go back to your old team. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Metal says, it looks like teams are allowed to make moves during the break, but I doubt we will because Zito is assistant GM. Right. Sfashi wants to know how concerned I am about the face-off percentage. It's contributing. It's definitely a contributor. I don't know where Bennett is right now. I mean, you can't say nothing about Barkov. I think Barkov leads the league right now, right? In face-off percentage. It's not been fantastic. It's not been terrible, but it's all about possession. And especially in the defensive zone, it seems like many nights we just assume we're losing the draw. Kenny says, your issues outside the building, have fun, insert new team. Right? A few members, podcast coming out about a half hour after this show. There was an article in The Athletic with Chucky talking about the intensity of the Four Nations. And if you listen to Chucky, it sounds like it's going to be pretty intense. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Yep. Metal says the face-offs during the power play are brutal. Only clears kill the momentum on the power play. Oh, wait, there's no such thing as momentum. Oh. Well, we'll be okay. We do miss Kevin. Of all the guys we lost, not being able to re-sign Kevin Stenlund has definitely, I mean, that definitely has had an effect. Although Montour and OEL, certainly that's had an effect too. It's hard when you lose good, when you lose good players like that. You look at the number of guys we lost, and we're still in first place, even if it is just by the hair of our chinny chin chin. Yeah, I know, Metal, about the momentum thing. Sometimes I think Maurice just says things to sound smart that I don't really think he believes. And sometimes, and look, we all say things. I remember this. This is off topic, but it's an example. I remember there was a Hall & Oates song, "So Close," and it was produced by John Bon Jovi. And I remember when the song first came out, Daryl said in an interview that John Bon Jovi did a great job. He loved it. He really thought it was fantastic. And then maybe 5 years later, he's talking about the same song. He says he ruined it. I couldn't stand it. He ruined it. And I'm like, people just sometimes say shit to hear the sound of their own voice. I should know. Hey, how you doing, Nick? How you doing, bud? Says, good day, Panther fans. Tough one last night. I appreciate all the support Cortana and I received from so many of you. Over 450. Outstanding. So, Nick, I guess you got a lot. Nick, does that include the 100 that I told you about? Nick, does that include the 100 I told you about? That's outstanding. I guess people donated a lot more. Cash App and Venmo. Kachukin says, ultimately, Caps are quite good. Oh, great. Fantastic, Nick. Good. So Kachukin says, ultimately, the Caps are quite good, and we were playing catch-up all night. We can't keep putting ourselves in that position. The offense has been scoring more, but look at the second line, plus, minus. Yeah, second line, I know. Kenneth says, I actually entertained the idea of the Leafs missing the playoffs, but after last night, it seems like you're okay. You guys aren't going to miss. The Red Wings won again, right? The Red Wings won again, and Tampa beat Ottawa. And if Tampa beats Ottawa again, they're as crazy as the standings could be. If the right teams win and lose, we could still hit the break. Florida, Toronto, Tampa, Boston. We could still hit the break with Ottawa and Detroit not in the playoffs. It's just that tight. Yeah, Bennett is a minus 14, was plus 17 last year. Yep. There's no doubt pucks are going in. I don't know how many of them last night. I mean, in terms of blaming Bubba, Meadow says the Wings have won 7 in a row for the second time this season under the new coach. Yeah, that's no joke. That's no joke. That's why, well, who knows? I mean, you could see, because Columbus is now out of a spot, right? I mean, it's all by 1 point anyway. So who knows, man? You could have all the teams from the Atlantic. I don't think you could have all the teams from the Metro, though. Hey, thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. Much appreciated. Thank you. Chopper says, have we even played a slumping team this season? Yeah, we did, and they beat us. Who was it? Somebody remind me. We played a team that had lost like 6 or 7 straight. And was it Pittsburgh, and then they beat us? We lost to somebody. Somebody will remember. You say you only put the first one on Bob as one over his shoulder. Yeah, Boston. Yeah, thank you, Meadow. Yeah. That first shot was a perfect shot. I mean, he's hugging the post. You're basically telling the guy there's 2 inches. There's like a 2x2 box here. and daring him to hit it. And he hit it perfectly. I can't throw that one at Bob. Yeah, Forsling was 56. Now he's 26. Right. He'll still end up maybe plus 40, though. It's incredible, though, Kachucking, when you look at Forsling's plus minus, and he's Ekblad's pair, and then you look at Ekblad's plus minus. It's all the shorthanded goals that were given up because Ekblad's out there on the power play for the shorthanded goals. Yeah, we had lost to Boston when they had lost, when they had lost a bunch in a row, and then we lost to Boston. Look, there's no doubt, right? But I just wonder what I talked about this in the podcast. I wish I could have the all 22 film. I wish the NHL had a package where we could get the coaches' film and go over it and look and see what happened, because there was just so many breakdowns last night, but you only see so much on TV, right? Yeah, I remember that, Meadow. We snapped Seattle's 8-game losing streak last year. That's right. Kachuckin says, I based my bets on the first shift last night. Ovi to score, Caps to win, Caps minus 2.5. Ovi gets one with a 10th of a second left. Right? A 10th of a second left. And if he breaks the record this year by one, that's the one. That's the one. Right? If he can break the record on the last game of the year, you're welcome. Oh, yeah, that's right. Kevin says if Detroit plays Florida, it'd be cool to see Tarasenko on the other side. That's right. Yeah. I'm not interested. Who's Detroit's goalie? I know I should know it, but the goalie, there's a lot of goalie movement that's happened in the last couple of years. Can't keep track of whoever went anywhere. Who's in net for Detroit? I know it's not Lyon, right? Or Levi, right? Also, Lyon is still the backup. Talbot. Well, Talbot can't be trusted. Talbot can't be trusted. What are we worried about? Kachucking around says Ovi will not try in the playoffs if he doesn't get the record this year. Oh, they got Husso third string. Okay. Great White says, I got a new nickname for Bubba. First goal, Bob. It's gotten bad, man. I mean, at least it wasn't 7 seconds. But like I said, I can't really blame that goal on him. That was an absolute perfect shot. Absolute perfect shot. What can you do? You know, I mean, look at the standings here, because I know that and by the way, why are Ottawa and Tampa playing each other 2 games in a row in Tampa? What is that all about? Let's see. So they're the Wings. They still got a -8 goal differential. They won 7 straight, and now they are the 7 seed. Yeah. They are the 7 seed. The Lightning are the 8 seed. So if it ended today, the Capitals would play the Lightning and promptly get eliminated. That would be it for the Capitals. And then the Panthers would play the Wings. I feel good about that. Yeah. I like that. I'm down with it. Not that I think the Wings are bad. Don't get me wrong. But I'd rather play the Wings than Ottawa. Kachuckin says maybe don't let the best fourth liner in the league that close to the net. That too. Chopper says, I want to see Ovi break the record, but I hated the fact that most of his goals this season are empty net, and he scored. I know. You say he's limping to the finish line. He wasn't a whole big factor last night, but I don't know if he's going to get it this year. It's still tight. Al says, who's more likely to go out in the first, Caps or the Jets? I would say the Capitals. I would say the Capitals. I don't think the Jets are going to – I think the Jets might actually finally get where they're trying to go. Wouldn't that be something if Maurice tries to repeat against the Jets? That's a story. You think the Jets will choke again? First round? Who are they going to play, though? Well, we don't know yet, but Kate says, Bob just had a bad night. It happens. He did win 4 in a row in spite of things. 1 shutout, too. I mean, I don't know. It was the one shot I can't fault him for. And then we kept leaving guys open on breakaways. I get that he maybe could have saved one of them, right? The shorty Bennett doesn't come back fast enough to be a factor. Chucky did. If Chucky lays down, it's not a goal. All he had to do was lay down to block the pass. Kachukin says Gretzky scored 56 total empty nets. Ovi is at 63. Right. Meadow says, I think the Jets have harder competition in the first round. I think Washington will smoke anyone but Tampa. But right now, well, you think so? Let's see. Probably the Red Wings. I don't know about Ottawa, man. I don't know. Probably smoke the Jackets. I agree with you there. But if they get the Lightning, that would be something. Chopper says, Caps win the President's Trophy, lose to a wild card Columbus in 7, and the Jets get swept by Calgary. Oh, my God. Oh, that would be funny. That would be – that's too much. Calgary can't sweep anybody. Where are they, by the way? I know they're in. Are they still in? Yeah, they're in by nothing. They're tied. They're literally tied. The Flames and Canucks are tied in points and number of games played. They're even almost tied in goals differential, -14 to -13. But if regulation wins are the tiebreaker, which I believe they would be, then Calgary has that tiebreaker 26-24. I still think Vancouver will make it in. There's nobody else in the West that's even close. The West is just is done, including the top seed, really. Nobody's catching Winnipeg. Calgary versus Panthers final. I am in for that action, Chopper. I'm down for that, man. Just because then I know Chucky's coming to the house with the cup. If that happens, then I know Chucky's coming to the house with the cup. Know what I'm saying? Cade says, a President's Trophy team being swept by the Blue Jackets? Surely you jest. Oh, wait. Savage says, I think Dallas can do some major damage. I agree. There's some good teams in the West that just kind of get lost in the shuffle. Yeah, Calgary's not getting past Vegas. I agree. Chopper says, Panthers in 6. Calgary wins the first 2 games. We all lose our head. Chopper, if we play the Calgary Flames in the Stanley Cup final and lose the first 2 games, I will not shave my head for a year if that happens. If we play the Flames in the Stanley Cup final and lose the first 2 games, I will not shave this for a year. And I'll just have the ball up here, and I'll just take this and do a ponytail, and then maybe even just do a top knot. Yeah, I'll let it all grow out with ball on top, and then I'll top knot the ponytail on top. That's how sure I am that ain't never going to happen. Oh my God. But yeah, we would go crazy, that's for sure. We would definitely lose our heads. No doubt. Metal said I'd be down to see that. Because all the stuff on the side still grows like it did when I was a kid. It grows fast. I can't go, if I go more than 2 days, I can't shave with the electric. I have to use a blade because it grows in so fast. Not so much on the top. It's not same. I don't know. Comb over, engage. Oh, I don't even know if I have enough left for a comb over. I should have shaved it before, years before I did, but Kyle didn't want me to shave it. So it is what it is, But you see some guys on the bench. Which coach is it? It's one of the coaches in the NHL you're just like, please, man, please, I'm begging you to shave the head. Trevor says Chucky gets reminded where he came from and instantly puts on a clinic and scores back-to-back hat-trick games in 5 and 6. And they got Lomberg back too, right? Can you imagine that, playing Huberdeau and Uyghur in a cup final? I know a lot of people thought, in fact, I think that was my pick that year. Oh, I just tore up my nail. Damn it. Damn it. That's going to hurt. Damn it. I just caught my nail on something and just ripped it out of the cuticle. That's nice. That hurts. There comes the sting. Okay, that's nice. Is it Peter DeBoer? No, I don't know if that's him or not, Jameson. No, there's another one. Dang it. Oh, that's going to hurt all day. I'm going to have to cut that right off of my cuticle. That is going to suck. No, it's like really, really bad patchy. It's really, really bad patchy. Let me see. It's not DeBoer. It's not DeBoer. It's not Keefe. I'm looking here. Oh, come on. They're just giving me old coaches now. So I can't find it. Yeah, that's a good point, Kate. Hey, Guitar Crow. How do I feel about this team versus this time last year? Well, we're pretty much in the same position we were in last year. Obviously, we weren't giving up the number of goals that we were, but having watched Tampa sleepwalk through at least one season and then win the cup, you think we had 76 points at this time last year? What are we at now? What are we, about 4 or 5 games off the pace? I guess we must have fallen off the pace because at some point, about halfway through, weren't we like close to our pace? All right, so we're 9 points off. So what's that? 4 games, 4 or 5? Yeah, 4 or 5 games off the pace. When you consider what we lost and the fact that last year our motivation was to get back and win the cup, and this year's motivation is to try to sleep as much as we can before the playoffs start. I'm all right. We need a center and 2 defensemen. That's what we need. And they need to hire Kyle as the mascot. Great White says ice water for about a minute will help. It's not. It's okay now. I got to get the nail clippers. It's like right on the edge, so it's not. It stops stinging. But when I cut it, I'm gonna have to cut the cuticle. Otherwise, I'll just be catching it on stuff all day long. IDK says that's a lot that we need. Well, maybe. Depends on where we get it from, right? Depends on where we get it from, how much they pay, how much they make us pay is really what, and what defenseman. Are we just going to, plop 2 new guys on the bottom pair, or are we actually looking for a guy to pair with Mikula? You know, Flames Panthers final. Flames trade for Tippett at the deadline. I don't think so. No. But if it was gonna, right? But you got to figure they count Tippett in as the future, right? IDK says we're not fixing our goaltending, so the D needs to improve or it's over. Well, I think the goaltending numbers are skewed, honestly. I think the goaltending numbers are skewed because the defense is just consistently giving up way more high danger chances versus what they did last year when it was more, a lot of shots on the perimeter and everything like that. Where this year, the number of breakaways that we're giving up this year is I don't know what the stats are, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was almost double what we gave up last year. Last year we went through this period of time where we were only giving up 2 goals or game or less, right? Vincent, when did we get Montour back? Let's just get Montour and Gudas back, right? Montour, Gudas, Stenlin. That's all we need. That's it. Montour, Gudas, and Stenlin. I get it, IDK, about the high danger saves. I know. I no disagreement there. No disagreement there. I don't know that I would worry about Bobrovsky until we see him play poorly in the playoffs. I get the idea, but we know he's raised his level of play in the playoffs, and the only time this year I've seen him really have a desire, he's had some good games, but the game against Edmonton, where we won 2-1, I believe it was, he really played exceptional in that game with that extra little bit of motivation. No, Chopper, no. We just waived Josh Mahura. His name is Adam Boquist. Vincent says, you tell me, I didn't hear anything. Only echoes of wasted summer with her. Yeah, Kachuk says we have not been on pace with last year's team since December 23rd. Kenneth says Spencer Knight starts every playoffs game, or once someone scores either team, Bob comes in for the rest of the game. Huh. It used to be Spencer that would give up the early goals. Now it's Bobrovsky. Your local Cats fan says we need our old team back. There's a few people we need back for sure. Yeah, we don't need Mahura right now. No. I know exactly, Chopper, right? If only the Leafs didn't take a third of our team. Come on, guys. Although I'd rather get Montour back than the OEL. Right? Montour, Gudas. In fact, that's the second pair. Ekblad, Forsling, Montour, Gudas, and then Mikula Kulikov. Yeah, I'm good. Amanda says, but you have to factor in that we lost like 8 of the last 10 games to the end of the season or something similar to that. Was it that bad? I thought they did well at the end, Amanda, because they wanted to win the division. I thought they had done well. Well, how much do I think Ekblad should get? Let's see. Let me look that up. 23, 24. No. Come on, you know what I'm looking for. Florida Panthers schedule and results. All right, let's see. Let's go. Yeah, I got cookies. I know. So the end of the season. No, man, it was actually the opposite. Starting May 17th, 1-1, lost, 1-1-1-1-1-1. We won 6 in a row. So I see where you got or what you're getting. We won 6 in a row. Wait a minute. That's the stinking playoffs. Why are they giving me the playoffs? Stupid. And stupid. Let me try this again. All right, I don't want the playoffs. I want here. All right, yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So we lost 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row, won a game, lost another 2, won a game, lost another 2. We finished winning 5 out of 6. We had lost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of like 11. And then for some reason we decided we wanted to win the division and we won our last 5 out of 6. Yeah. Hey, Harper. Well, we got, hey, thank you. Hey, Nick. Oh, follow me on Insta. Appreciate that. I don't do a whole lot over there, but every once in a while I get in the mood and I post over there. Wish we could trade eggplant for Gudis. Communist wants to know if I'd rather have a young defenseman or a more stable older defenseman. Oh, honestly, right now, considering that we're going to have to give up assets, I'd rather take the older, more stable defenseman for the playoff run and then get a free agent, younger one to replace Ekblad so we don't have to give up like a first-round pick or something. I think that's what I'd rather do. Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Great White. He says, thank you for the therapy session. It gets me through today. I appreciate that. Hey, True. Run over his foot with a golf cart. Chopper. Oh, man. You say you don't think Stolarz is playing right now? Is he hurt? What happened to Stolarz? Kachuk around says Eki got injured in the game. Or are you serious? Ekblad's out? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Ekblad got injured in game 65 and we started to rest. You can look at last season's standings. We were well ahead and guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. The division is much better this year. Gotcha. Okay. True says, my boss is asking me to work more and get a raise. Wait, are you going to work more and he gets a raise? Metal says Stolarz had hurt. They found a pebble-like mass in his knee. Oh, crap. But then Hockey Guy said Stolarz will be available tonight. Yeah, that's right. Ekblad getting hurt on the day after the deadline is the most Ekblad thing ever. Yep. Stoley had to have surgery. Okay. Gotcha. Well, you guys still stole OEL. We'll be all right. Something was on display last night, that's for sure. I don't know what exactly it was that was on display last night. I don't know if it was complete lack of speed on defense or if it was something structural that the Capitals coaches figured out. But something got exposed last night. It was way too many completed stretch passes. Just not been good. Stolarz has been on the bench as a backup. Gotcha. Hey, Julian. So Vincent says, what is more realistic, Zito trades Ekblad or Knight? No. Neither. Why would we trade Knight now? How dumb would we have to be to have not signed, pick any two of the following players? Gudis, Lomberg, Stenlin, OEL, Montour. Pick any two of those players, maybe even three, that we could have had if we would have traded Spencer Knight. So you mean to tell me now he's going to move him for maybe one guy back? Screw that. The only way I want Spencer Knight moved is if it's in a four-way deal and somehow Stolarz is back as the backup and we get Montour and Stenlin back. Montour, Stenlin, Stolarz. That's still not enough. Screw it. Give me Owen Tippett back too. Yeah, four-way deal. I want Tippett, Stolarz, Montour, and Stenlin back. And a first. I just keep going. Yeah, Bob has a no move clause. Juggy, Kachukin. Bob's got a no move clause. IDK, why haven't they tried Drieger? I have an answer for that. So I will tell you why. We've looked this up a couple of times, so I don't know if it's any better or any different. Right now, Drieger obviously is downstairs. And has he even played this year? Why are they not showing any stats? Oh, that's NHL. Come on, all leagues. Here we go. Drieger right now has played in 17 games. In the AHL is a 309 and an 877 save percentage. So he's not exactly lighting it up. He's not exactly lighting up. He's had injury issues since he left here. Unfortunately. Yeah, it's not been great. Yeah, I agree, Colin. Samo would have scored against the Caps. IDK said, yeah, the goalie situation. Yeah, there's nobody in-house that's coming to save us. That's for sure. That much is for certain. Spencer's not been bad. I just hope we don't end up in a situation like we did the other year where, because I would assume if Bob has two bad playoff games and we lose the first two games, that he'll move to Spencer. Kachukin says Bob's contract converted to a 16-team no-trade list this summer. Not like we would actually move him, but he's a beast in the playoffs. Right. Yeah, no, I don't think that. No, I don't think there'd be any movement. I doubt it. I mean, maybe something happens over the summer, but I don't think he'd go anywhere. I think he would just rather retire. Oh, yeah, Blackwood. Yeah. Chopper. No, Ekblad's not going anywhere, man. Ekblad's not going anywhere. Right? It's just not going to happen. Where he needs to go is the bottom pair. Now, if we want to do that, who's out there that would be a good pairing for Forsling? Let's look at this a different way. If we put Ekblad on the bottom pair, is anybody out there that would be a good pairing for Forsling? Montour? Can we get him back? Julian says, still didn't get to watch the game. Are we worried about the Caps matchup? Hold on, the chat went too fast. Didn't get to watch the game, but are we worried about the Caps matchup in the playoffs? How well would we do? I didn't see anything last night, Julian, that makes me think we can't beat them in a 7-game series. They could beat us, but there's nothing that I'd be afraid of. It would be a good, hard, conference final series, but certainly there was nothing that I saw that makes me go, well, we ain't never getting past them. We made stupid mistakes. We gave up a shorty when Ekblad lost the puck at the blue line. Luosterainen had a bad cross-ice pass to the middle of nowhere that ended up in the back of the net, coming the other way. Exactly. Jameson says the only place Ekblad is going is into the rafters when it's all said and done. Yeah. Says, let's remember Monty led a lot of breakaways, but he also scored way more than Eki. That's true. Vincent says, we're not getting anywhere. Right now, we need at least 3 players, 2D and 4C. Let's say they retain half on all players. Being generous, we need about $5 million in cap space. What gives? Well, it's a good question. It's a legitimate question. Maybe we just don't make all those moves. Let's move it around a little bit. Let's move it around a little bit, Vincent. Now, if you go Barkov, Bennett, Lundell, Luosterainen. I said this on the recap last night. Barkov, Reinhardt, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Kachuk, Samoskevich, Lundell with Erod and Boquist. That's a viable third line. And then Luosterainen with Greer and Gadjevich. Maybe you bring somebody up like Dalpe. It's not great. Maybe you add a Noel Achari, you add somebody on that fourth line off the bench. Luosterainen is going to be better than Nosek. At least give you some more energy. You might be able to solve that problem in-house-ish. Chopper says fourth line needs scoring. I mean, Greer can score. Greer had some good opportunities and put the puck in the back of the net a couple of times when Boquist was at 4C. We could do that as well. That gave us some speed and some juice to that line too. We could move some guys around and I think, if you add one guy to that mix, it could be easier to just add a random winger than it could be to find another 4C. Kate says, same. I have full faith that we can beat Washington in the playoffs. We did beat the Rangers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Exactly. That's if Washington gets that far. I wouldn't completely just discount the Devils and Canes, whoever they end up playing, right? Kenneth says, think of it like this. Are you winning a cup with your roster? If no, who are you losing to? Address that problem and beat that team. I ain't worried about any of the Eastern Conference teams. I believe with this roster, we can win the conference. Might be pushing it on defense. But Western Conference, that's the different stories. I don't know that there are moves we can make. There's some good teams out there in the West, bigger teams. I don't even know if there's enough moves we can make to where I'd sit here and feel really confident against like Winnipeg, Vegas, maybe even Dallas and Colorado. The IDK says the West, just about every top team owns us. Nah, Frank, I don't even think we're going to have to play Washington, to be honest with you, Frank. I think the Canes or Devils will take care of Washington. I don't think we're going to end up playing Washington if we get that far. Yeah, exactly. Colin says if the playoffs started today, the Caps would play the Lightning. Julie says, kind of miss Lorentz. Hate watching Nosek. Stenlund is much needed, but hey, that comes with winning a cup. You can't keep everybody. That's true. Kachukin says, let's say we lose in the second round after not moving anyone. Then what then? Well, what then is You have all the conversations with all the guys immediately. Bob, is this upcoming season your next year? Are you retiring, or do you want to extend at a smaller clip? You start there before you even worry about Ekblad. You talk to Bob and find out what he wants to do. That's $10 million. If he's going to retire, that's 10. That's going to open up, and that's going to change a lot of what you kind of think you're going to do. So Bennett and Kachuk says you got to pay Bennett, you got to pay Sam Miskevich, and that's what we'll have the money to do pending what we do with Ekblad. Yeah, Julian says, good thing we're in the East. The West will beat each other up. Just hope we don't play Vegas. Agree. You do know that the Panthers split the series against the Knights and Jets, right? Yeah, that's true. And Kachucking around is correct. Ekblad annoys us, but we also can't replace him. It's nothing we could do about it right now. Now, what they're going to do long term, who knows? Frank says Western Conference sucks. All they do is beat up on the bad teams. That conference has made no improvements. How many teams are fighting for the playoffs in the East? Our conference is way tougher. I won't disagree with the second half of that. But a couple of teams in the West, like Winnipeg, Vegas, good teams. There's some, especially Winnipeg, Dallas, Hellebuck out there. You got Otter in there. I mean, you got some good teams with some strong goaltending. Yeah, Great White. We're doing all the Four Nations stuff. That's for sure. We are doing all the Four Nations stuff. All right, Chopper. Thanks for joining us, bud. Interesting. Yeah, we're going to do all the Four Nations stuff, so we're looking forward to that. Kachunka says, our depth scoring was our powerhouse last year in combination with our lockdown defense. We don't really have either right now. When the forwards are really going, we do. We shut out the Kings with, Balinskis and Schmidt on the bottom pair. A lot of it has to do with the forwards and what they're doing. Dog. In the members-only podcast that's coming out about a half hour after this show, I unfortunately have an article that I read for you where Chucky talks about the intensity of the Four Nations that you will not like it. With considering your comment there, you will not be happy with what Chucky has to say. So there's that. Local Cats fan says, if I remember correctly, the Cats did the same exact thing last year. They had amazing games and games that made you want to throw something, and they won the cup, so who knows? The Cats will wake up. I think the difference for us is we had that space of time last year, and I think it was about this time. I think it might have been about this time where we had 12, 13, however many games in a row it was, where we only gave up 2 or fewer goals. Let's see when this was. Where was this? So, yeah. So, this is from... No, that's not it. Let's see. Where was it? We started January 22nd, and we did not give up more than 2 goals until February 29th. That's the difference that we feel. And we didn't give up more than 3 goals until March 14th. Listen to that again. Last year, this time, basically, starting on January 22nd, the Panthers did not give up more than 2 goals until February 29th, and we didn't give up more than 3 goals until March 14th. And that's what we feel. That for us fans, that's why it feels so much different. The scores, I mean, 4-1, 6-2, 3-2, 3-2. We lost 1-2, 4-2, 4-0, 5-2, 4-0, 9-2, 3-2. We lost 1-0. And then that's when we started allowing 3 goals. So it's just completely different. It's just a completely different feel to it. We went like a month, We went like a month. So Frank, that shorty's on Ekblad and Chucky. The shorty's on Ekblad and Chucky. Because Chucky got back. Ekblad loses the puck. Chucky got back. And Chucky needs to slide and block that pass. He needs to slide and block that pass, and then that puck's not in the back of the net. Yeah, Kulikov had the one giveaway. Luosterainen had to give away. It was rough. It was rough. But we'll be all right. We'll be all right. In reality, it was 4-3, and then we got to empty the stupid net. Logan says, what if the Capitals get the President's Trophy? I think Winnipeg might get it, but either way, let them have it, right? Kachukin says that was in the phase last year where we were playing playoff hockey style. Right, until something broke. Eki. Yeah, that's true. Poor Eki. Always breaking. Always breaking. Like the eggs at the store. I found eggs today for only $5 a dozen. Huh? The cheap ones. The medium size. The large eggs are $11.50 for 18 eggs. Vincent says, Ekblad doesn't respect this team if he tries to stay for even $2 million. Forsling covers for him. Bob covers for him. And add that to Schmidt, who came to have fun. Oh, when are we getting a night puppet? That's a good question, Colin. I got to get a voice. Unfortunately, Colin, the voice that would have been really good for Spencer, I already had for Andy. The one that talked like this, the one that's always got the lisp and he's talking like this, that would have been the perfect voice for Spencer. So now I got to come up with a different voice for him, and then we'll find him a puppet. That puppet, the one with the bug eyes and all of that, that would have been perfect for Spencer. But unfortunately, I spent that puppet before I think Spencer was really even a big part of the deal. So now I got to get a different idea, a different puppet, a different voice for him. Make Spencer sound like Batman in Dark Knight. I'd have to listen and think. It's all about if I can do the voice consistently, right? But I mean, I thought about a character change. I thought about a character change. I could. But I don't know how people would take that, right? I don't know how they might take. They might think I'm making fun of them because Andy's got a lisp, and they might think I'm making fun of Spencer because of the assistant program. I'm sure there's at least one person that would think I'm making fun of him or something. So I kind of thought differently of it. Kachukin says, sadly, Ekblad's going to be making $6 million a year on our team next year. Oh boy. Oh, no. No. Kenneth says, I am Knight, but I do not wear gold. I hate Golden Knights. We all hate the Knights, Kenneth. We all hate the Knights. That's for sure. All right, everybody. Appreciate all the support. I'm going to run and get the podcast up for you all. And, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at noon. No problems. Then we got tomorrow night. And then I'm planning on some interesting content and stuff during the Four Nations. We're still going to stream and all of that, too. Great White says, would I trade Lundell for Ekblad going to the Four Nations game? Where's Ekblad from? Ekblad, we couldn't do that, right? Ekblad's not. Where the hell is Ekblad from? Is he from Canada? Or is he American? If he was American, wouldn't he be on the team? No, maybe not. Oh, he's from Canada. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, Ekblad, I figured he was Canadian. Southern Ontario. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. All right, buddy. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for all the super chats. I will see you mañana. Mañana, tomorrow.